A man never leaves her family, and that
Your daughter told you that?
Yeah, we had the perfect family.
Is she wrong?
But she didn't get that from herself. She's a child. She got that from her mom, because that's what she said.
She don't think she got it from her dad? You raised your daughter for 7 years. You were
I'm still raising her.
But you were in the household for 7 years.
Correct.
Okay? During that time, you raised her to be, seems like intelligent, confident, well-spoken. So you raised her to be to have these qualities, right?
Right.
Why wouldn't you expect her to tell you exactly how she feels?
Because I didn't leave her. I didn't leave him. I didn't leave my son or my daughter. I left the situation. I stayed in Huntsville. I took him to school. I stayed over there. I did everything. I talk to them every day, even now.
What is talking to him gonna do?
I spend time with them when I can. Maybe not as much as I can because I moved away.
Okay, that's called leaving.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome. Thank you guys for joining me and watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Appreciate the support. Definitely like and subscribe to the channel if you can, the Public Offender 100. But let's get into it. I saw this video yesterday, and I've been chomping at the bit to discuss it and break it down because it has so many gems in it, and it exposes so much of the problematic thought processes that a lot of men have, especially bitter baby daddies. And this dude sounds like a bitter baby daddy. Full disclosure, I don't know anybody in this show. I don't have any backstories on them. I literally just have this clip, but this clip is enough, right? For me, at least for what I want to talk about. I did look up the names. I remember one of the guys' names, Marceau. I think that's the guy who's talking, who's giving the advice. I don't know the other guy's name. I thought it was Martell, but I don't think that's his name. Anyways, so nobody hold that against me, please. I don't really care to look up these gentlemen. I don't have anything against them. I just don't watch the show, and I really don't. I'm not interested in watching the show. So don't be snickering and laughing at me because I don't know the backstories about these guys. But I'm gonna do the best job I can do to break down this video, and I think I should be able to do a fairly good job.
A man never leaves her family, and that
Your daughter told you that?
Yeah, we had the perfect family.
Is she wrong?
But she didn't get that from herself. She's a child. She got that from her mom.
Right off the bat, as soon as I heard this part, my jaw dropped. Like instantly, I was like, "What? What do you mean?" The thing is he is already trying to minimize, or he's trying to obfuscate. I would say not minimize. He's trying to obfuscate and shift the blame to somebody else. Because if he accepts that his daughter is the one saying this, then he has to accept it as like, because it becomes more real. It's really valid if the 10-year-old daughter is the one saying this. So instead he's like, nah, the mom is saying this. The mom is trying to hurt me. She's trying to manipulate me. Whatever he thinks the mother of his children is trying to do, which that's a whole other story for itself and a whole other day. But he doesn't want to accept what the 10-year-old daughter is telling him, because once he does that, then he has to change his behavior, and he knows that, right? He also, once he does that, then he has to accept responsibility, right? Because you can't have it both ways. You can't sit up here and acknowledge what your daughter is saying, and then at the same time be like, no, that's not true. Like, no. You have to accept it. Yup, it's okay. I hear you, daughter. Now what can we do? So instead, he's trying to shift the blame onto the mother of his children. This is also, to me, another example of men who try to use that whole like parental alienation excuse for for why they don't have a strong relationship with their children, or a relationship at all. I think that a lot of times this is the actual thing that's going on. The kids don't like the parents, don't like the father. And instead of the father accepting that it's actually the children, they blame the mother of the child. That's what I get from this type of stuff.
Because that's what she said.
She don't think she got it from her dad? You raised your daughter for 7 years.
I'm still raising her.
But you were in the household.
How are you raising her? How are you raising her? You're not in the house. The mother's now. This is not to say if you're not in the house you can't raise a child, but he said he went away, right? So let's clock it. Let's keep going.
For 7 years.
Correct.
Okay. During that time, you raised her to be, seems like intelligent, confident, well-spoken. So you raised her to be to have these qualities, right?
Right.
Why wouldn't you expect her to tell you exactly how she feels?
Because I didn't leave her. I didn't leave him. I didn't leave my son or my daughter. I left the
That is gaslighting, sir. You did leave them. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have gotten out of there. Maybe the situation was tumultuous. Maybe it was toxic, right? I give you all of that. But the bottom line is, the reality is, you actually, indeed, in fact, you left him. That's the reality.
Situation. I stayed in Huntsville. I took him to school. I stayed over there. I did everything. I told my daughter, I left the situation. I stayed in Huntsville. I took him to school.
I left the situation. I hate his language. He's such a gaslighter. He's such a gaslighter, man. He refuses to take any accountability. I didn't leave them. I left the situation. They are a part of the situation. They are a part of it. So you left them too. I'm not saying you left because of them. Nobody is saying you left because of them. But you did leave in spite of them, right?
I stayed over there. I did everything. I talk to them every day, even now.
What is talking to him gonna do?
I spend time with them when I can. Maybe not as much as I can.
Talking is very important. Marceau, that was one of the things I disagree with in this video. Definitely talking is important. Talk to those babies. Nothing's wrong with talking to them. And listen to them, more importantly, or just as importantly. I don't agree. What is talking going to do? Talking is important. Very much so. Talking isn't a substitute for everything else, but it's definitely very important. Definitely talk to your kids as much as you can.
I took him to school. I stayed over there. I did everything. I talk to them every day, even now.
What is talking to him gonna do?
I spend time with them when I can. Maybe not as much as I can because I moved away.
Okay, that's called leaving. It's okay for them to have animosity towards you. You left them. And so when a 10-year-old comes in the room and says, hey, you left me, that's what she feels. She didn't get that from her mom. She got it from intelligence.
Clock it. She definitely didn't get that from her mama. She got that from her observation. Very obvious observations.
Like, I didn't handle it the right way. So my question is, how do I move forward?
And look, so let's go back a little bit. This whole first minute is wild. So he starts off by trying to shift the blame to the mother of his children, right? Then he completely invalidates his 10-year-old daughter by saying, nah, that's not her. She doesn't really feel like this. The mother feels like this. Okay. Then he says that he didn't leave. He didn't leave the kids. He left the situation. But you indeed did leave the kids. Like, he said everything to minimize his impact on the situation, minimize what he's done, obfuscate all these little tactics, gaslight. Marcel's not letting him get away with it, by the way, and good on him. All to get to the point to where he just brushes over real quick. Well, I didn't handle the situation properly. He knew the whole time he didn't handle the situation properly. He knew the whole time. And here's what I'm saying. Here's why, me personally, but men in general, I don't like talking to men about my issues. And I don't like men telling me about theirs the majority of the time. Because most of the time, men don't give you enough of the story. And they always like to minimize their responsibility and their role. Like 90% of the time, that's what men are going to do. And that's the thing I don't understand. It's like going to the doctor and lying to them. You know what I mean? Like, it's like having an allergy and going into a restaurant, not telling them that you have an allergy. It's like going to a seafood restaurant, having a shell allergy and not telling them. Like, it's only going to hurt you at the end of the day. That's dumb. Don't do that. You definitely, if you're going to talk to somebody about it, you should be honest as you can. And that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't really like talking to men, because often men do exactly what this man did, which is they try to tell the story in such a way that they don't look like they've done much or anything wrong. They over exaggerate the things that the women have done, like he did, or just flat out lie. I'm saying like he did. I'm sorry. I think he's lying about the mother telling the daughter that he left, right? Acting like she like planted this seed in her brain. She didn't. The daughter just sees it. So I think he knows that, because look how quickly he switched. Look how quickly he flipped. Yeah, I got that wrong. You knew you got it wrong the whole time. You were just looking for a man to validate you. That's what men do. Men, look at me. Stop validating fuck shit from your homies. Stop it. Stop validating that fuck shit. If your homie out here doing fuck shit, tell him. Let him know. It only hurts him.
With this man in the household, because there's
What's going on with him? What's the issue?
me and him never had a talk. Then he told my ex that I need to be worried about my daughter wanting him to be her daddy. Ken and Trish can be married. My daughter is gonna
We're
always
gonna look
be
at him
my-
as a father figure.
So he's jealous? That's what, hold on. He's jealous? He's jealous. Is that what's going on here? Let me listen back.
How do I move forward with this man in the household? Because there's
What's going on with him? What's the issue?
me and him never had a talk. Then he told my ex that I need to be worried about my daughter wanting him to.
I'm gonna say something that bitter baby daddies often say to their children. The phone work both ways, brother. He got the kids. He's under the same roof as your kids. Why wouldn't you call him? We ain't never talked. What are you waiting for? Why are you talking to Marceau? Why don't you go call this? As soon as you get done talking to Marceau, go call that man. Invite him out to dinner. Take him to Ruth's Chris. Buy him a steak. Get him a couple brewskis. Like, this is crazy. He worried about his daughter calling. Sir, why would you be worried about that, by the way? I would never be worried about another man. My son's calling another man father, dad. Why? I'm their dad. And I don't even care. It doesn't even bother me, right? No, I don't care. It wouldn't even bother me. If that man is stepping up and he's actually being a father figure, I don't mind him calling him dad. But also, like, I doubt that they would call him dad because they would know the difference. They would know the difference. They would know I'm their dad. But if that man made so much of an impact on my children, he deserves it. He deserves to be called dad. But this dude is insecure because he knows he's not doing enough. He knows he's not doing enough. And he's concerned that his daughter and his son is going to call this man dad. That's his concern. Not with the treatment of his kids from this man, but if the man is going to call his kids daddy. This dude's dad of the year. He's going to get an award for father of the year, apparently. Jesus Christ.
How do I move forward with this man in the household? Because there's
What's going on with him? What's the issue?
me and him never had a talk. Then he told my ex that I need to be worried about my daughter wanting him to be her daddy.
Now that's messed up. Why would the mother of the children tell him that? She shouldn't have told him that. That was fucked up. She shouldn't have told him that. But I don't know how it came out. I don't know how it came out, but I feel like she could have kept that one close to the vest.
Ken and Trish can be married. My daughter is gonna
We're
always
gonna look
be
at him
my-
as a father figure.
Honestly, no. I don't want him to be a father.
You don't want him to be at PTA meetings.
Absolutely not.
Which is
Why don't you want him to be at PTA meetings when you're not going to be there? If you don't want him at PTA meetings, are you going to be at PTA meetings? No. Why do you care? You moved away. You don't live there. Y'all really want to punish you guys to boost your ego and to keep your ego intact. You would rather the kids suffer and get less of an experience than for that man to step up and fulfill his duties as a father or stepfather or father figure. Wow, man.
we're gonna look at him as a father figure.
Honestly, no. I don't want him to be a father.
You don't want him to be at PTA meetings.
Absolutely not.
When she's a tough day at school and she comes home crying, do you want her to run to his arms and him to hug her?
No.
Why not? Why not? You want your daughter to suffer? Wow. This is sick. This is sick work. Crazy. Wicked.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So you'd rather the man that your ex-wife married, when she has a tough day at school, he comes in and he sees her crying, and he says,
call your daddy.
What? What? If she wanted to, she's 10. She would call you. She's 10. She would call you. Why he need to tell her to call you? Phone work both ways. Right?
that's the kind of guy you want to be around your daughter?
No, but I guess.
So you want him to hug her then?
No, the part of me,
And her to cry on
the
the shoulder.
thing is that it's a conflict.
And him to tell her it's all right.
It's a conflict.
That's why you don't leave your kids, bro.
Where is the Marceau was whooping him right there. Marceau was like, you don't want her to cry on his shoulder. You don't want him to be a fatherly figure to your daughter. And if you don't want that, then why did you leave? That's why you don't leave your family. But now you're gone. This is the best. This is great. This is what you want. If you look, anybody, men specifically, if you aren't in your children's life and a man comes in and he's living under the same roof as your kids, you better be hoping that man wants to step up and be a good father. Now, I wouldn't be worried about that personally. My wife would never be with the man that didn't take on my sons completely, right, and embrace them completely. But I'm just saying, let's say you're dealing with a more male-centered woman, let's say, brother, man, if that man is willing to step up, what do you want? What more can you ask for? Like, what? That's all you can ask for. Like I said, call that man up, take him on a bro date, buy him a freaking steak and some beers and chop it up with that man. Get comfortable with him. Get his phone number, call him, text him. Y'all should be sending each other memes and shit at this point.
Call your daddy.
That's the kind of guy you want to be around your daughter?
No, but I guess.
So you want him to hug her then?
No, the part of me,
And her to cry on the
the
shoulder.
thing is that it's a conflict.
And him to tell her it's all right.
It's a conflict.
That's why you don't leave your kids, bro.
I don't get the conflict. I'm sorry. I guess the conflict is, yeah, I kind of want to see my daughter be happy, but at the same time, I'm so threatened by this man filling my shoes in some way, shape, or form that I'm triggered by the idea of her seeing him in this light that I'm willing to sacrifice her happiness by making sure he doesn't help her at all. That's what I'm getting from it.
But what do you want from this? Do you want her back?
No, I just want to figure out how to co-parent and be with my kids and figure out how I can maybe see how we can resolve.
Rule number 1 in co-parenting, don't be a fucking hater. Rule number 1 in co-parenting, don't be a fucking hater. Let's start there.
This, I really just want to move forward.
Marquez is a bit delusional in his approach to this situation.
Marquez.
Although there may be some similarities between Marquez and Martell, I think that Marquez is a little more passive. And in relation to he and Trish and Martell and Mel, I think that Marquez may be the male in this situation. What you have to understand is that you want to take accountability for leaving, right? But you don't want to take accountability for the consequences.
I understand. I messed up. I left my family. I get it. My only issue is this man coming in and us never having a real conversation.
Then talk to him. He doesn't owe it to you to call you. Those are your kids. Call him. What? The pride and the ego, man. Golly. Jesus.
I'm with you on that.
And I need that.
This is something.
I'm with you on that. Marceau, you're slipping. Call him. Have you called him? Now, if he said, hey, I called him and that man won't take my calls, okay, now I'm with you. Now that's fucked up. No doubt about it. You ain't called him, though.
Honestly, this is something that you should feel hurt about and change. Your daughter's 10 years old. It's okay to come in and say, hey, baby girl, I made a mistake. Anything that you allow to get between you and your kids is more important to you than your kids.
Say that again. Hold on. He said something. Let me go back. He said something. He said something right there.
It's okay to come in and say, hey, baby girl, I made a mistake. Anything that you allow to get between you and your kids is more important to you than your kids.
Pastor, come through. I ain't even got nothing to say. Ain't no hook. Ain't no hook on this song. That was beautiful.
And right now, your interaction with him is more important than your children. Y'all need to have a conversation. You may not recognize this, man, but this guy picked up where you left off.
Damn, that stung. Did you see how much? Oh, that stung. That boy said, oh my God. That one stung. Man, I know that hurt. That was a truth bomb for that boy right there. Marceau breaking it down. He's saying you are allowing your ego to stop you from having a great relationship with your kids because you feel some type of way about the man in the house because you are too prideful to call him and establish a relationship with him. Crazy.
Him is more important than your children. Y'all need to have a conversation.
AKA, your hate for him is messing up your hate for him is stronger than your love for them. That's what's going on right now. Your hate for him is stronger than your love for them, kids.
You may not recognize this, man, but this guy picked up where you left off.
I had such a hard time with that.
I have such a hard time with my ego. My ego is really bruised right now. Because he messed up. He knows he messed up. Because why would you have a hard time with that? I wouldn't.
You know what the first word is to be out your mouth? When you talk to him, I'm going to keep it a buck with you. You're not going to like this. Thank you. Does he pay bills at the house?
I don't know what's going on over
I
there.
assume so.
He don't know if he paid bills at that. Boy, if you don't. he lived it, he paying bills. But watch this, though. He don't know if he paying bills, but watch this.
I'm pretty sure that he's bought your kid something.
Oh, yeah, he's taking him out the country. He's done a lot of things.
I know you a motherfucking lie. Marquez. This man done took your babies out the country and you ain't talked to this man and you ain't bought this man a gift, a present, nothing. Bitter baby daddies on the loose. We putting out an alert. Bitter baby daddies is on the loose. Watch out for this man, Marquez. He is a bitter baby daddy. His ego is bruised. You know, when you corner a bitter baby daddy, they tend to lash out and say hurtful and toxic things. Sometimes damaging things about their own children.
Thank you. Does he pay bills at the house?
Hold on, I got to see that again. I know that stung. Oh, I know that stung that boy.
I'm going to keep it a buck with you. You're not going to like this. Thank you.
Oh.
Does he pay bills at the house?
Oh, he didn't want to hear that.
I don't know what's going on over
I
there.
assume so.
Marceau, he didn't want to hear that, Marceau. He didn't want to hear call that man and thank him. I assume so. I like that part too. I assume so. Come on. He did. He and I went to like, come on.
I'm pretty sure that he's bought your kid something.
Oh, yeah, he's taking him out the country. He's done a lot of things. The car that my son got.
So, thank you.
The what? Excuse me? The what? The automobile? That man bought your baby an automobile?
I don't know what's going on over there.
I assume so. I'm pretty sure that he's bought your kid something.
Oh, yeah, he's taking him out the country. He's done a lot of things. The car that my son got.
So, thank you. Yeah, that's a tough one. But if you want to be a co-parent, Start by acknowledging the fact that this guy's been picking up the slack.
Well, he don't got no choice. I feel like he don't have a choice.
He has a choice.
If
He
he
can
loves
leave.
her, he don't have a choice. But
Now he don't have a. Do you know how many stepfathers don't do stuff like that? What are you talking about? He don't have a choice. But if he love her, he gonna say, okay, then go. What does that got to do with? See what I'm saying? He minimizes everybody else's efforts. But for him, it was, I stuck around. I call him every day. I know I ain't there. But I calls him every day. But with this man taking your babies on exotic trips and buying them cars, well, he ain't got no choice. Man, y'all make me, bitter baby daddies make me sick.
He could leave. He could leave like you left.
he ain't finna leave. He worship the ground.
Hold on, bro. This crazy. This right here, I'd have flipped over the table. If I was Marcel, I would have flipped over the table. I wouldn't have been able to take this.
That this guy's been picking up the slack.
Well, he don't got no choice. I feel like he don't have a choice.
He has a choice.
If
He
he
can
loves
leave.
her, he don't have a choice but to
He
love
could
my
leave.
children.
He could leave like you left.
How doesn't he have a choice, but you did, and those are your kids? He could have left like how you left. Exactly, Marcel. Exactly.
He ain't finna leave. He worship the ground she walk on. He ain't going on.
Somebody does.
Somebody
You didn't. On this side right here, you can have some issues. Hey, listen, I don't like how y'all started. To me, that's on some bull. Man to man, you came at my wife while she was married. That's not cool.
Okay, so apparently this dude was a side dude, I'm guessing. That's what I'm saying. I don't know the backstory. I don't even care about this part of it. It's irrelevant to me. It's irrelevant to me. They together now. Your kids is underneath that roof. Call that man up. Have a conversation. Call that man up. Have a conversation. Take him on a bro date to Ruth's Chris. Buy him a steak or two. Show him a good time. Buy him some nice bourbon. I don't know what men drink like that no more. I ain't drinking 10 years. But buy that man some bourbon, some tequila, whatever you want to drink. Get him nice and lick it up and drop him back off at the house singing happy songs and stuff. You and him in the driveway. Y'all need to sit down, bond over a game of Madden online, bond over a game of 2K online or whatever. Hop on the Call of Duty, do something. But y'all need to start bonding to tomorrow, to yesterday. Stop being a bitter baby daddy, Marquez. Step up, bro. You want to know how to co-parent? Kill the ego. Kill the ego. Kill the ego. What's in the past is in the past. Let's move forward. You still got a chance to salvage a relationship with your daughter and your son. Do that. Do that before they realize that you are nothing more than a bitter baby daddy. And stop making excuses. Stop making excuses. When your kids tell you something, listen to them. Take it in as hard as it may be, but take it in, process it, and validate their feelings and validate their emotions. That's all you got to do, man. Shit ain't rocket science.